Once again, New South Wales is on high alert as one bushfire after another flared up today. There are reports of homes destroyed and 3 firefighters have suffered minor burns. Through the day, strong winds and dry conditions whipped up 7 blazes to emergency level. 2 in the state's south near Bawley Point and Braidwood, a blaze southwest of Sydney near Warragamba, 3 on the Central Coast and another in the far north. Tonight we have reporters standing by across those fire grounds. First, let's go to Ainsley Druitt-Smith, who's at Bawley Point just north of Bateman's Bay. Ainsley, have any properties been lost there?
Yes, good evening, Juanita. Well, we are hearing reports from the Rural Fire Service that some structures have been lost in fires here at Bawley Point, where I'm standing, and further west at Braidwood. Now, it's unconfirmed as to whether or not they're actually houses or more like sheds, and those investigations will be carried out over the coming days as the fire begins to ease in these areas. Now, this fire that's burning between Ulladulla and Bateman's Bay, the Currawan fire, has burnt through more than 50,000 hectares of bush and is continuing to threaten communities north of where I'm standing at Lake Tabourie. The fire was absolutely ferocious through this area today, and to have a bit of a look at that, our reporter Tom Lowry put together this report.
It was always going to be a dangerous day, and by mid-afternoon this massive fire again reached emergency level. Warmer temperatures and erratic winds with gusts up to 50 kilometres an hour fanned the flames through the Maru National Park, straight towards Lake Tabourie. Those who stayed to defend knew what was coming and had done all they could.
So I've already lost one property out on the other side of the river, so I want to stay and try and save this one. So we've got a bit of gear in there, so I don't want to lose that. Communities
from South Durras north to Bawley Point braced for the worst.
Extremely worried. As you see, it's a timber house, a lot of trees and a lot of debris which I've cleared at the moment. So yeah, extremely worried.
It's like the super fire. It's just all joining up, burning everything in its path.
Fire crews lined the roads along the southwestern edge of Bawley Point, the last line of defence.
I'm really scared. Yeah, I'm really scared. I kind of wish I had gone a few days ago, but you try to think of the best, and yeah, I'm scared. Yeah.
I'm a bit shaky at the moment now, especially now that it's all looking pretty real.
And it was. After days of being on high alert, massive flames burst out of the national park and into backyards. Firefighters doing all they could. Further south, the blaze was unpredictable and causing trouble. This is the danger of this fire. Even in only a moderate breeze, falling embers have started a spot fire on this property near Durras Lake. Thanks to a quick response from firefighters, the home's been saved. But the concern is if winds keep strengthening and stay up over coming days, this is going to keep happening. A late southerly change cooled the fireground and brought some humidity. But there's still plenty of work to come. Tom Lowry, ABC News, South Coast.
Closer to Sydney, reporter Selby Stewart is at Oakdale, just west of Campbelltown. Selby, homes are again under threat there tonight.
That's right, Juanita. In the last 30 minutes, this situation has gotten more serious. As you might be able to tell, the winds really picked up and they're now pushing this fire in an easterly direction far quicker than fire crews thought. We now know it's heading towards Warrombi and Orangeville, and we've been told that homes are currently under threat on Ridge Road and New Jerusalem Road. And there's a very big operation underway. We've had several RFS units screaming past, scrambling to get to these homes. And only moments ago, an aircraft that we've been told was filled with evacuees has just landed on an oval nearby to us. So a very tough few hours for some, and after what's already been a very difficult day for many.
This fire has been burning in the Blue Mountains for more than a week. Not even the vast Warragamba Dam was able to stop it.
What we'd feared had actually occurred, where the fire has jumped the lake and spotted over onto the eastern side.
By this morning, the fire had taken hold and was burning out of control. Fire crews were nervously watching and waiting. Using a thermal imaging camera, they tracked the fire as it moved through Burragarang National Park, heading east towards the towns of Natai and Oakdale, home to around 2,000 residents.
We thought we were getting the upper hand with that spot over. We had crews on the ground, we had water bucketing going on with the choppers. but unfortunately due to the conditions that we've got here today, even though they were putting in a great effort, it actually escaped.
Many of those living in the fire's path have packed up and left. Others were determined to stay.
I've seen bushfires before today. They happen, you know. I think the worst bushfire was when I was 14.
Glenys Dowling has lived in Oakdale for 69 years and said she won't be leaving.
You water everything down, you rake up all around, everywhere you've got to do. You water your chooks down if you have them, look after your horses, cattle and etc. And that's all you can do.
But the dangers were all too real. 3 remote area firefighters suffered burns to their hands and face. They were winched out by helicopter and taken to hospital. All are reported to be in a stable condition. The entire area was blanketed in thick smoke. This satellite map shows the smoke from the fires around the Sydney Basin being pushed east towards the city and the coast. And all of this happening right next to the dam that supplies Sydney's drinking water. Selby Stewart, ABC News, Oakdale.
Kathleen Calderwood is at Mangrove Mountain on the Central Coast, where 3 fires have been at emergency level most of the day. Kathleen, have any more buildings been destroyed there?
Well, Juanita, there are reports that a home has been lost in the Little L complex fire in the Hunter region up towards Singleton. Now, people in Paynes Crossing are being advised to shelter in place, while people in Laguna and Yango need to leave now towards Cessnock. I'm coming to you from Mangrove Mountain, a bit to the south of that fire, where the 3 Mile fire is at emergency level. Now, until about 20 minutes ago, the weather here was quite calm. We were told that actually because the smoke blanket above us was so heavy, it was stopping the wind, but things have really started to deteriorate now. Earlier today, we saw people being evacuated on the other side of this fire to the west at Wiseman's Ferry. Tonight, the imminent threat is really here at Mangrove Mountain. Currently, the fire is burning in the Dubbo Gully, and as the night progresses, it's expected to burn up the gully and it could threaten homes on the Waratah Road at Mangrove Mountain. But people in the lower Mangrove, Green Grove and Mangrove Creek areas have also been advised to be ready for that fire threat, which they expect will not ease for at least 24 hours. And finally, the Gospers Mountain fire is also at emergency level. It's been burning for weeks now in the Wallamai National Park, and residents in Colo Heights and Bawley have been told that it's too late to leave and they need to shelter in place.
Kathleen Calderwood reporting there. Even well away from the flames, the bushfires are proving a major health hazard. Smoke particles in the air and visibility have been particularly bad today, Graham.
Yeah, they have, Juanita, particularly across Sydney, but it wasn't just Sydney seeing this significant smoke, but visibility dropped to around 3 kilometres at Sydney Airport and Williamtown Airport in the Hunter, and 5 kilometres at Coffs Harbour Airport. Particle levels dropped to hazardous in parts of Sydney, Coffs Harbour and the lower Hunter. Now, hazardous is measured at levels of 200 plus, with Randwick reaching 674, Liverpool 665, Wyong peaked at 712 and Coffs Harbour 314. Health, air quality and visibility impacts from that smoke are expected to continue over the coming days.